and we're gonna jump into I Still Seek Revenge. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Just to keep the flow going, I'm gonna start at the end of Manners and let it go into I Still Seek Revenge. Because it had this cool clean intro. I mean outro. I still seek revenge. Bass. Her bass tone is absolutely... Her bass tone is perfect. Her bass tone is the perfect bass tone. I mean, I would not want her to adjust a single level, a single bit of anything on there. It just sounds so smooth, man. So smooth. Only cymbal work here. Very interesting tempo choice. Ooh, yes! You hear that there, too? Another mini transition riff at the end of the first half of the chorus there by Konami. I haven't talked a lot about Konami throughout the course of this album so far. And I think, honestly, part of that is just because she's so awesome all the time that it's almost like I'm just going to be repeating myself constantly by saying how great she is. But also there's the matter of, I think some of the other members might be standing out a little bit more so far on these earlier songs. And I think Konami, this seems like a decision that she made to allow that to happen for the songwriting purposes. Because as she's writing these songs, you know, these guitar licks, I'm sure she's keeping it in mind, like, how are we going to show off the rest of the band members? And I think she's doing a really good job of giving them a chance to shine while still doing her thing, albeit sort of in the background the whole time. But yeah, so anyway, going into this second half of the chorus here, you could hear her doing some cool transitions. You hear that though? She's real high on the guitar. Bass. Just bass. Oh. Hey Misa, what are you doing today? You feel like playing a solo throughout the entire song? Yeah? Okay, good. That's what we're looking for. I love this pre-chorus. It sounds a little messy again, intentionally so. I love that it sounds messy. Like it's very unique. And once again, it has a lot to do with the drummer and the guitarist lining up together on their little breaks. They have little pauses here and there, and it seems like every 2 seconds it changes where they're going to put the pause to the next 2 seconds, as opposed to it being like a consistent, like, you know, maybe they're going to pause on the 4th beat or the 3rd beat every time. It's more like they're not going to pause for 2 seconds and they're going to pause twice in a row, then they're not going to pause for 2 seconds and they're going to pause 3 times or 4 times. And you know, they're just very in tune with each other doing that stuff. Though, while you hear the guitarists and the drummers doing a lot of that, you hear Misa just throughout the whole song, just fucking going nuts, man. What's she doing? I love that. awesome. And they changed up the structure for this one also. It was basically, there was basically no bridge. It was just bass solo into guitar solo. And it felt appropriate. I really liked it. This is MISA song. Let's just be clear on that, okay? This is the MISA song. So I guess that was technically still part of the bridge there, but I mean, it didn't feel like the bridge to me. After the solo ended, it just felt like it went into a new part. I don't know if that was an intentional choice on their part. I like the solo though. Yeah, like this part here, I guess it's technically still part of the bridge, but to me I would just call it a new part. It's long enough, you know? That bass drum transition. Nuts. Just nuts. Just more nuts. How do I talk about this stuff without you guys thinking that I'm bullshitting you? I struggle with this every time, you know? Every time I do a BAND-MAID song, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good, oh my god. I'm like, these guys are just gonna think that I'm like, you know, saying what they want to hear. And I do struggle with trying to come up with new things that I want to say about them so that it doesn't seem like I'm just spouting off random, you know, praise for them. But without getting too detailed right now, I'm going to be just totally honest. Including Menners onto this. The first 5 songs of this album. This is far and away, in my entire lifetime, one of the best beginnings, because we're 5 songs in, that I've ever heard on a rock album. It's legitimately, like, all these songs are good.